So, I made a very bold statement on the thumbnail of this video. I told you that this is the last glow up video that you're going to watch this year. I lied. This is actually the second to the last glow up video that you're going to watch. And that's because this is a two-part series that I'm going to be releasing. So this is the first part and you need to wait for the second part. My name is Amina. Today we're going to be talking about how to glow up mentally. I know that when we think about glow up, usually we think about like doing our hair, having spa dates, maybe doing your nails and stuff like that, like changing yourself physically. But most times we don't think about it in like a mental sense. And the truth is, if you want your glow up to be permanent, then you have to be willing to do the mental work. There's a lot of mindset shifts that you need to do to get you from where you are to where you need to be. Because you don't want to be looking like your dream woman, but then you don't have the confidence to back it up. Now, the physical appearance bit is not like unimportant. It's actually going to be in the second part of this video. So this video is mental shifts that you're supposed to do that would help you permanently glow up. So
Let's get started.
mindset shift number one is that you need to know your self-worth. And you need to know your self-worth in a way that is not attached to any human being. You need to realize that we as human beings have the same intrinsic value. So I was watching a Brini Lee video, I think last week, and she talked about how self-worth is like you having a car, and you know how some people take care of their cars, is in top-notch shape, and some people don't, basically. So the people that do take care of their cars, when they decide to sell the car and they take it to the person that is supposed to buy the car, it's going to be a lot harder for that person to like look down on the car when the car is actually in good shape. So that is where the physical glow up actually comes into play. And then there's person B that decides to sell their car, but they don't take care of their car. There are scratches everywhere. The interior of the car is like unkept and stuff like that. And the person decides he's going to sell the car. Who do you think is going to get more value for their car? Is it the person that doesn't take care of their car or the person that takes care of their car? The answer to that question is actually the person that knows the worth of their car. So, yes, when you take care of your car, yes, it's going to make other people take care of your car. But then, when you take care of your car and you don't know the worth of your car, somebody is still going to rip you off. Somebody is still going to like, water down the price of your car. Because as human beings, we are always looking for a good deal. So if you come with a beautiful car, yes, I'm going to buy it more expensive than a person who comes with that same model of a car, but comes with the car and the car is like looking out of shape, it's looking out of sorts. Maybe the person takes the car to go and sell. And then maybe the car dealer looks at the car and is like, there's a scratch here. The inside of the car looks terrible. The bumper looks uneven. And the car is maybe worth like 120. But then the car dealer tells you that I'll give you 50 because the car looks terrible. If you don't know the worth of your car, you're going to be like, okay, fine, just give me the 50. I just want to get rid of the car. But then if you do know the worth of your car, you're going to be like, yes, there are scratches on my car. Yes, there's a bumper that is looking terrible, but I know the worth of this car. I know it is so horsepower. I know that it drives really fast. I know that it is fuel efficient. Anybody that buys this car is going to be saving money. So I know the worth of this car. I'm just selling it because I need the money and not because I don't like the car.
What's wrong with rusty old cars?
So if you're a kind of person that knows the worth of the car dealer might not buy it for that 120, but maybe he's going to be like, okay, fine, let's settle on 100. You see what I mean? And then another person comes with their car looking kept, and maybe they don't know the worth of the car. And the car dealer is like, okay, since the car looks like it's in top notch shape, I'm going to give you 80 for the car. If you don't know the worth of that car, you're going to be like, okay, fine, it's a good deal, you know? Meanwhile, that car is actually worth 120. I'm making this analogy so that you understand that when you're on your glow up journey, you need to do the physical and the mental part. The physical part is where you take care of the outside of your car, the interior of your car, places that you can see and touch. And then when you're doing the mental glow up, that is when you take care of the quality of the car and you basically know the worth of your car so that nobody can rip you off. Because manipulative people are going to always come and they're always going to tell you, hey, who do you think you are? Hey, what is she feeling like? Stuff like that. But then when you know your worth, nobody can bring you down. Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. And you have to start acting like that. If you know your worth, everybody is going to treat you with respect. So know your worth and add tact. The second thing that you need to know is your identity. You need to figure out your identity, and you need to figure out your identity away from people around you. Like, you need to be able to tell people who you are without saying, I am so so's wife, or I have two kids, or I am so so's daughter. Who are you as a woman? What you're passionate about, what you're working on. You should be able to like separate yourself from other people because at the end of the day, you only have yourself. And yes, you're going to have like family and friends to support you every once in a while, but then you're going to realize that at certain points in time, you are only going to have you. I experienced this when I became a mom. It almost felt like I didn't have an identity. Like
Okay, who am I? Who am I?
most of the things that I thought I liked, I didn't actually like. I'll give you an example. Growing up, me and my siblings used to watch like Korean films together, and it was a way that we usually bonded. So when I got married and I decided, okay, fine, let me try watching Korean, I was bored AF. Sometimes you actually think that you enjoy something, but you realize at some point that you were just doing that thing because you wanted to spend time with a particular person and not necessarily because you liked that particular thing. Eventually, I realized that I'm not a Korean movie fan, and I had to figure out, okay, what exactly do I like? What are some things that I like on my own without certain people? And I think I thank God every day for like helping me go through all of that, because at one point in my life I was like, oh my God, all of a sudden I started to pay attention to things that I really like, even if it happened accidentally. I take note of that particular thing. Okay, this is something that I actually like. I did not know that I liked tea until like recently. I always used to look at people that liked tea as weirdos, but I don't. For the past 1 year, I've been like a tea person. I experiment with different types of tea, and I really enjoy having tea. You need to figure out the little things that you love. Another part of creating your own identity is realizing, okay, why are you doing certain things? Are you doing it because you want to do it? Or are you doing it because you want certain people to see that you're doing a particular thing? And this is something that has helped me cut back on my spending too. Because most times when I think about buying something, I ask myself, do I really need this? Do I even want this? Or do I just want people to know that I have it? And these are questions that I have in my head that actually help me rethink doing certain things or buying certain things. And I think you should include them in your life because it's life changing. I'll give you another example because I am full of examples today. Another example for me is the Stanley Cup. Oh my God. There was a time on TikTok that anytime you clicked on a that girl video, the girl was almost always holding a Stanley Cup because it was the aesthetic at the time. And I was really thinking about buying that cup. I looked at that cup and it looked humongous. Like, I couldn't understand how people went about their day holding something so big and making it look like it was functional. I just knew that it wouldn't fit into my life. And even though I wanted to be like part of the hype and I was feeling like some sort of FOMO, like fear of missing out and stuff, I stopped myself from buying the cup because I realized that I just wanted people to know that I had the cup rather than actually want it. I knew that it was going to be a burden because I'm a kind of person that doesn't even like to have purses in public, which is weird because I love purses, but I don't like heavy purses. So why would I be moving around with a cup that is that big just to show that I fit into a particular aesthetic? Like it didn't make any sense to me.
Stanley. Yeah, it's really nice. It keeps everything real cold. Yeah. Target. Yeah. About 250.
And so that's why I decided not to buy the cup. Like it looked ridiculous. And I'm sorry, like if you're a kind of person that actually loves the Stanley Cup, I'm not in any way bashing the Stanley Cup. I'm just saying that for me in my life, it made no sense for me to want to buy a Stanley Cup, especially when I have a toddler that I carry around all the fucking time. How was I going to fit a Stanley Cup in my hand when I have like a toddler bag and a toddler, another like baby walking around in front of me? Like, how is a Stanley Cup going to fit into that life? So to me, it wasn't functional. It wasn't something that was flexible enough to fit into my life. And that is why I had to let it go. So the third mindset shift that you're supposed to have is you're supposed to have a mindset of like self acceptance. You're supposed to accept yourself like as a whole, like the whole package of you, your flaws, your strengths, your weaknesses, everything. You're supposed to accept every part of yourself. Because if you don't fully accept yourself and your flaws, then how do you expect other people to be okay with it? We have to be willing to like, give ourselves and like accept all our flaws, all our weaknesses, because that's the only way you can move forward. And we can only expect like, respect from other people when we respect ourselves. You can only expect acceptance from other people when you fully accept yourself. Your relationship with yourself should be so strong that when another person comes into your life, it's always like, this is me in all of my glory, with all my flaws. You know, take it or leave it. That is supposed to be your attitude about things like that. You shouldn't be trying to squeeze into a particular box that you don't fit into. If people feel like you're larger Feel like as girls, we have to start thinking in a way that is different from how our mothers used to think. So instead of thinking, hey, this is what I feel like my husband will like, especially when it has to do with like your body or like how you dress and stuff like that. If you're thinking about your dream body, it shouldn't be in relation to what your man wants. It should be what you actually want, because that is the only way you can find fulfillment. That is why you see people go for all these invasive surgeries like BBL or something like that, and they're still not happy. If you're doing it to gain validation, you're not going to find the happiness that you need. So when you're thinking about your dream body, think, what kind of body would I want if, I didn't care about the men that were attracted to me, Like what kind of body do I want away from like the male gaze? What kind of style do I want to recreate away from like the male gaze? So those are the ways that you're supposed to be thinking. I don't know if that made sense, but those are my 2 cents. Ooh, we're rhyming. I don't know if that makes sense, but those are my 2 cents. Okay. So, mindset shift number 5, engage in play. I watched a TikTok recently where she was talking about the reason why women are so miserable is because we take out play from our lives. Basically, from a young age, we're made to do things. We're made to like take life seriously, learn how to cook. Oh, this is what you're going to be doing in your husband's house, or like learn how to clean. Like everything you're doing is serious. But guys learn to like explore, to like do certain things that we were not given the chance to do. And that is why they grow up learning how to incorporate play in their everyday life. My husband has a PS5. My husband goes to play his matches, I think every week. He watches football. Like he carves out time for himself, to hang out with his friends, to like do recreational activities. But I feel like for us women, it takes extra effort because some of us don't even know how to have fun. This is what you've been training for all your life, and then you get married, and it's like, okay, serious, 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 serious. So you have to learn to do not always take yourself seriously. Figure out what are some fun things that you can do every once in a while. What do you enjoy doing? Do you enjoy dressing up? Like, listen to your inner child. I enjoy dressing up every once in a while. Hence, the word hijab. I fully indulge my inner child every once in a while. I love going to new restaurants. I love trying new foods. I love hanging out with my friends and family. That is my happy place. I love taking my kids out to like try new places. Just enter your kids. Ah, shit. It's like I'm contradicting myself. But the point is, we need to learn like certain things that make us happy. We need to learn like certain things that are fun for us. And we need to indulge in all of that a little bit more, like more. Anytime you're thinking about your life, think about it in a way that, okay, you are increasing love. If you're not increasing love, you're infusing play. If you're not infusing play, you are kind of infusing peace. Love, peace, and fun are supposed to be your motto in 2025 at this ending of 2024. You know, anything that does not involve love, play, and peace should not have any space in your calendar. That is what I'm saying. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Mindset number I've forgotten the number. Just realized I didn't clean my lens today. Oh my god, I'm almost halfway through the video. Anyway, let's continue. Nobody wants a good quality video these days, do they? I don't think anyone does, but I do. So this is kind of weird. Mindset number 7 is that you need to enjoy alone time. And the only way you can enjoy alone time is if you create a beautiful life. And how do you create a beautiful life? Creating a space that you actually love. Maybe it's your house, maybe it's your office, like putting elements, certain things that you actually love into those spaces so that when you look around, you're like, oh, life is beautiful. And another part of this is like having hobbies. Have little things that you're doing that make your life a lot more fun. Like have hobbies that you work on, learn new things every day.
I do have a life outside this house.
YouTube is my new hobby, something that I'm doing that nobody even knows I'm doing. Yeah, people know I'm doing, but I kind of didn't share like the YouTube channel with them. But everybody knows I'm doing it, but like undercover. So it's so much fun, and I implore you to actually look for something that you actually love and pour yourself into it. Because right now it is 12 p.m. I am supposed to be on a morning shift tomorrow, but I'm still filming because I actually love filming. So it can't get any better than that. Trust me, find a hobby. That's how people know you have a personality. Same thing later. You need to stop oversharing. Like, stop telling so many people like everything that is going on in your life, because mostly people just, how to explain this, they just infect you with their limiting beliefs. Like when I was starting this YouTube channel, I just didn't want to tell anyone because I wanted it to be something just for me, you know? It's hard to actually find that thing that is just for you, that nobody has to just poke nose and like, and I know that people genuinely want to help, and people, and you need people in your life, but I kind of just wanted this channel to be about me, and that's why I started it. You should have something that is just for you, that you don't even have to share with a lot of people. And this goes hand in hand with like posting on social media and everything. You don't have to post everything about your life on socials. And speaking of socials, you have to like limit the amount of time that you spend on socials, because comparison is the thief of joy. If you're trying to figure out like how to live your dream life, then I guarantee you're not going to find it on social media. It's going to corrupt you, and you're going to like end up picking something that is just an aesthetic and not something that you actually like. So drop your phone, maybe not right now. After you finish watching my video, drop your phone and figure out what you want to do with your life, what kind of life you want to create. Of course, finish this video first. Watch my video. So another thing that you need to do is to sieve out like toxic people from your life. And these are generally people that drain you, you know. Sometimes it's not actually people that you can get rid of. It could be like family and very close friends that you don't necessarily want to get rid of. You know, you can limit the amount of time that you spend with them. You can like give less energy to the relationship until they figure out like what they're going through. And I'm not saying you shouldn't help a friend in need, but then there are certain people that at a point you start to realize that they just love complaining. They don't want to do anything about to make the situation better. They just want to complain and like spew negativity all around, and those are the type of people that you should be kind of avoiding or like sieving out of your life. Basically, you should be 90% of the time, you should be with people that inspire you, that motivate you, that make you feel happy, that make you feel centered, that make you feel supported, that make you feel like that girl, that make you feel like that mom, you know? So sieve out the rest and just let it be, let them find their own people that they can talk to about negativity all the time. Let it not be you, or at least let it be you maybe once a month. So, mindset number 9, I think. You have to have an attitude of positivity and gratitude. Oh my god, I'm doubling down on the points that I just made in point number 8. About like sieving out toxic people. You have to figure out if you yourself are toxic, because sometimes we keep complaining and we know how to do the victim game where we are never at fault and other people are at fault, other people are the ones spewing negativity. But when you really think about it, are you the problem?
Am I the problem then? Is it me?
Are you the toxic person in the relationship? Are you the person that is always spewing negativity? If so, then you should change. You should have like a mindset of like positivity. And I'm not even judging you because I'm a kind of person that has a lot of negative thoughts. But the only thing that happens is that I don't relate to like everyone, and I sometimes I journal about them. But most times what is really helping me counter like all the negative self-talk that goes on in my head is that anytime I think about something negative, I actually do um salat al nabi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, where I send salah on the prophets, and that's just what I do. Anytime I have a negative thought, I send salat to Rasul. So you find out that I don't know whether maybe Shaitan is working against me or something, but it has really reduced the number of times that I think negative. And I think you should try it too. Maybe it doesn't even have to be like Salat and Nabi, it can be anything. It could be istighfar. Maybe anytime you think negative, like do like 10 istighfars. By the time you think like 1,000 negative thoughts, maybe you would have like 10,000 istighfars. So you'll be doing something helpful with your time rather than just thinking negative about terrible things that are probably not going to happen. And then you have to have an attitude of like gratitude. Like we tend to focus on things that we don't have when in reality we have a lot more. Like if you're healthy, you've eaten, you're clothed, you probably have a mobile phone, then I hate to break it to you, but you are an overprivileged. So you have to like retrain your mind to always focus on gratitude. And one of the ways that you can do that is by forcing yourself to actually think of like 3 things you're grateful for every day. And then the last but not the least on the list is small, consistent effort. Everything that I've talked about now is something that is small that you can slowly infuse into your life. So you can do little things every day. Maybe today you say no to that coworker that is toxic. Tomorrow you can decide, okay, I realize that I love tea. So I'm going to take like 30 minutes before the kids wake out to enjoy a cup of tea. So you can do self love is about doing little things, especially on days that you don't actually feel like doing those little things. Figure out how to make small, consistent efforts, and you're going to have self love. Think of yourself as an onion, and you are the very pit of that onion. And self love is like the layers that you keep adding, the layers that, and layers and layers that you keep adding to that onion until you become a big onion, basically. I don't know if this analogy is working, but I'm just going to go with it.
Onions have layers.
You're trying to get to that point where you're a big onion, but right now you're a little bulb right in the center of the onion. So you have to keep doing small, consistent actions that keep adding layers to that small bulb until you finally become a big bulb of onion. So keep focusing on the little actions that make you happy, and eventually you become the big bulb of onion, figuratively, of course. Thank you very much for making it to the end of this video. I really had fun filming it. I hope you had as much fun watching it. Um, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, like the video, share it with friends, and share your thoughts with me and tell me how I can improve in any way, shape, or form. Thank you very much, and God bless. Bye bye.